Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another Rage video, where today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a little bit of a break from checking out Arian for 1 second, because I wanted to move on and talk about possibly one of my favourite channels on YouTube today. And he is known as Mr. Jim Browning. And in case you have never seen his videos before, I'll give you basically a bit of a rundown of exactly what he produces. He produces videos that I'd say from not necessarily a journalistic point of view, but I want to say from an expose point of view. You see, Jim Browning is what some people tend to call a social justice warrior. However, in spite of the negative connotations that go along the lines of social justice warrior by certain types of people who I won't name in this video, he, however, is a man who exposes internet fraud scammers, people who, if you've ever rung up a tech support line on the internet, wanted to find out a problem, and they, in turn, on the end of the phone, will try and con you out of hundreds, if not thousands of pounds or dollars. This is the man who exposes all of them. And Jim goes far and wide afield to target very specific ways in which he can take down scammers one by one. From infiltrating a scam call center in places like Calcutta, Delhi, Bombay. I don't think Bombay has many call centers, I think, anyway. From him showing the world investigative pieces, between him working with various members of Indian cyber police, who, and I gotta say this right now, the Indian government, as well as the general populace of India, and I suspect pretty much around the world, they cannot stand these scam artists. Absolutely, the worst sort of people on the planet, as in today or any other day for that matter. Also, Jim goes far afield to also uncover, you know, sometimes when you pick up a phone and saying that your Amazon account has been hacked, well, these are the sort of people who are behind that as well. Also covering, if we just want to go slightly further again while we're doing this, is that they will almost always target vulnerable people, the elderly who have no idea how to combat this, and will bully, harass until they bleed their victim dry. Their methods are nothing short of criminal, scandalous, and absolutely abhorrent, because everybody knows exactly why they're doing it. For money. It's solely the whole reason why the whole business of scamming, like, well, as we're probably going to see in this video, it's so scandalous, but so many people are attracted towards it because there could be millions to be made out of this scheme. And almost all of them, barring very few of them, ever get prosecuted because it's so lucrative, and there usually are ways of getting out of, being arrested. Not that I would have anything to know about that, but it's interesting how many times you seldom report or even see people getting arrested. I mention that because a BBC documentary series called Panorama, that's what it's called. Panorama did a piece specifically investigating call center scammers, and they interviewed Jim Browning himself whilst he was, incognito, because a lot of scam artists also are starting to recognize the work that Jim Browning does, and the fact that he's going out of his way to shut down centers and completely disable scammers one at a time. And as you're about to see in this video, you're about to see why Jim does this. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether or not Jim himself has ever expressed why he ventured to do this. Like, did he have a bad experience? Did he lose thousands of... What is that noise? Hang on. Okay, nothing. I just, there was some mysterious sort of like ticking noise going on. But the point is that you're about to see exactly why he does this, and irregardless of his reasons, I think it's fair to say it's just an example of, you know, there's plenty of good in this world for what you're about to see. So if you want to check out his original video for himself, you could go check out Jim Browning's YouTube account right now. So let's begin. Confronting an internet scammer in 3, 2, 1, and...
Some scammers are worse than others, but this gang must be one of the worst.
Hello, hi, a very good day to you.
This
is Roger calling you from your computer company. How are you doing today?
Roger, whose real name is Shabazz, works with around 9 others in the south of Kolkata in India.
That's great. Well, I hope you remember you paid money for your computer protection and for the computer services.
This group buys data of people who've been scammed previously. They'll then call them up, offering a refund, but it's just their way of getting yet more money from these victims. I deliberately let the likes of Shabazz onto my computer so that I can find out how they operate and warn others about their scams. And I found out so much that I was able to give their details to an American journalist who travelled to India to confront Shabazz face to face.
Also, just in case you're wondering how he could work himself into scam artist computers, he demonstrates this in other videos, just in case you were curious.
And as previously covered, these guys are refund scammers. They will offer you a refund for an item you didn't buy, and suddenly they'll put what looks like too much money in your account.
So you just have a checking account in your bank, right? And you don't have a savings account? Or you have a savings account in any other bank?
He asks about savings accounts because he can then transfer their own savings to their current account.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and refund you the money into your checking account, alright?
He'll have to be content with a page edit.
Can you just grab a pen and a paper and write down the balance what you are having it in your checking account right now?
You're looking at Shabazz's PC as he's conning a woman named Patricia. He gets her to note carefully what her balance is.
Write it down in a piece of a paper. 17058.65.
He'll be editing this page shortly.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to credit the money into your checking account, okay?
As usual with these scams, he makes a temporary edit to the page to make it look as if he's put money in. If she knew to refresh the page, then the total would return to the way it should have looked.
Oh, just hold on for a minute. Just hold on for a minute, ma'am. It looks like I have made a mistake out here. Just give me a minute.
But he didn't make a mistake. This was just me pressing the F5 key to refresh the browser and reproduce the original total. So he has to do all of his edits again.
Looks like, ma'am, I have made a mistake out here. What is the balance you can see right now in your checking account, ma'am? Right, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Actually, I was giving you the numbers, the confirmation number for the refund, and
just the sheer tone of desperation is... I know he's not speaking very loudly here, but it's almost deafening. He's almost... I call this pleading, basically. This is him pleading to Patricia here, and it only makes it all the more satisfying when Jim just presses F5 again.
At that point of time, I was processing you the refund, but by mistakenly, ma'am, I credited $15,000 in your checking account. You can see right there, ma'am, there was $17,000.
And I hit F5 once again.
$2,000, right? Don't touch your computer. Hold on for a minute.
Poor old Shabazz having to redo all of his edits one more time.
I gave you the numbers. I gave you the confirmation number. Have you written it down? Can you just read me out those numbers?
Asking for the confirmation numbers is just a distraction technique. He doesn't want her to view what's happening on her screen.
No. The number what I gave you, the confirmation number, not your balance. I'm not talking about your balance. I'm talking about the confirmation number.
Pick up, not pick up, ma'am. Sending UPS.
Yeah. So by mistakenly, I credited $15,000 in your account. So what you need to do is, ma'am, on that $15,000, you can keep your $200 what you paid for your computer protection. and send the rest of the differences back, which is 14,800.
Code you said, ma'am?
But what sets this group apart is just how much they will bully their victims into sending money.
That's right, ma'am. So I'm gonna help you out how you need to send this money. Do you have your checkbook with you?
And as Patricia goes to get her checkbook, he turns on her webcam.
Okay, first you need to write a check for 14,800. Go ahead, grab your checkbook and write a check for 14,800.
The figure of 15,000 wasn't chosen at random. He knows she's got this in her account and shouldn't have any problem withdrawing that amount and will still leave little for herself.
You just need to go to the teller, give the check to the teller and take the cash money and come out. If they will ask you why you want this much of cash, just tell them I need to pay this money to the contractor, or give them some personal excuse for it.
It's always
Why exactly? Give some excuse for it. I mean, I know fine well that Patricia is probably putting a lot of faith into these people anyway, but if it was me, if he called me, I would say, well, hang on, why would I need to lie to my own bank about what has happened? Because obviously if this is a refund, then possibly the bank would have been known about this anyway. And I'm going to tell you something very, very important about why I would say, why would I need to lie to my own bank about this? I'm going to come on to that later because there's a story I wanted to share anyway. So,
important that they coach their victims in case there's some question from the bank.
Nothing about the refund, nothing about the computer, or nothing about me. Okay? And if they will not give you 14,800, ask them how much cash they can give you. If they will tell you they can give you 10,000, take 10,000.
Take 10,000. Just it gets more and more aggressive by the second. And also, if by coach you mean scream inane gibberish and confusing terminology to their victims, then I suppose you could call it coaching. But no, this is just begging, a very unsolicited and very highly criminalized form of begging, if you ask me.
Whatever cash they will give you, take it. Take it and come back home. Take that cash and come back home, okay? And make sure if they will ask you the reason for taking out this much of cash, what you're going to tell them?
I'm going to tell them to buy a car.
Oh, that's well and good. No problem with it. You just tell them that I need to purchase a car. You can tell this thing also. Okay, so you need to just go back to the bank once again, get the cash and come back home. I'm just waiting for your call, just we did this time.
But because I didn't have Patricia's phone number, I did the next best thing and contacted her bank. So whilst she was talking to the scammers, I was having this conversation with the bank's manager.
Yes, sir. This is Dean Feathers. I'm the president of the bank, and I've got a couple of my ladies here with me at the bank. So.
Okay. I explained what had happened to Patricia and that I didn't have her phone number.
Hang on just a second. Let me ask. Did she withdraw 14,000?
No, set up her online banking.
She set up online bank. Okay.
I deleted it.
Right.
We shut it down.
Okay, we just shut it down.
Good.
Based on the information you're giving us. Okay.
Okay. Good.
We just shut it down. So let's. But anyway, proceed. We're going to contact. With your permission, we're going to contact Patricia.
Absolutely.
And let her know that this is happening. Okay.
Yes, I do not have her phone number, so it would be great if it comes from you guys.
Yes, sir. Well, Jim, thank you very much. We appreciate that. We will contact Patricia right now.
Okay,
and
please
let
do.
her know that there is a scam in process, and we're going to try to help her shut it down.
She will believe she's got twice as much money in her account, because that's what they edited the screen to look like. But you can assure her exactly how much is in her bank account, and then hopefully she'll understand what's happening.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck with that. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks very, very much, and we appreciate that.
Okay, thanks for taking my call.
Others, please call us. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now. Bye. Bye.
Well, what a nice man. No, seriously, what a nice man for just being on it like that. That's the sign of somebody responsible and somebody who doesn't pussyfoot about. Just get straight to the point and just to help this sweet old lady. And Bear in mind when I say what a nice man, because of immediately what happens next. Not to the bank manager. I'm talking about to Shabazz, if that is his real name. You'll find out why.
But Patricia was one of the lucky ones. For those who didn't follow instructions or who questioned too much, there was a lot worse in store.
Hold on for a minute. Ma'am, do you think that we are working out here for money? Do you think that we are going to take your money? Just hold on, ma'am. Hello? Just hold on. Don't touch your computer. Hold on. Let me show you something.
And what you need to do at your end, ma'am, you need to go ahead right now, get online with your bank.
Okay, now can you just look on your checking account and can you just see what is the balance you can see in your checking account right now?
And because this person was suspicious about what they were doing, they zeroed the balances of all of her accounts.
There in your account, it is right now with me. Now, you were thinking that I'm trying to take money from you, then I just want to show you, ma'am, that if my intention was to take money from you, I can simply go ahead and take out all the money from your account and I can hang up the call by keeping up all your money. Do you want me to do that? I hope you don't want to lose all your money, right?
And to ensure compliance, have a look what he does to this victim who wasn't playing ball.
Okay, but before I do that, alright, I just want to know that what guarantee is there that you are going to send my money? You told me... Alright.
Here he uploads a file to the victim's computer.
Okay. Alright, so you are going to send my money if I'll send you your money, right? No problem. Just give me a minute. I don't have any problem putting your money back. But see, just because I'm trusting you, alright, that's why I'm sending you your money. So I don't want you to break my trust. I hope you are not going to do that.
The file is called Lock My PC and is being used by scammers these days as a replacement to Windows syskey, which was removed some time ago.
Because your computer will be locked and you won't be able to get into your computer anymore for the whole lifetime. Your computer, once you shut down your computer, you won't be able to get into your computer and you won't be able to use your computer.
If you're a victim of this locking software, see the description for a way to work around this problem.
Exactly. I'll leave a link myself below this video because, well, if it wasn't obvious from this point, then, well, the sooner people pick this up, the less people will become victims of this, and that will be that.
Computer, first of all, you are not going to get your money, what was there in your account, and you are not going to get your computer back as well because you won't, because I have to. You are trying to keep my money. Who the hell you are? Who is going to, why you are trying to keep my money? Why you are trying to keep my money? Why you are trying to keep my money? You are going to lose all your money.
So as you can tell, Shabazz is a pretty unsavoury character. He regularly threatens to wipe out his victims' bank accounts and will often lock their PCs so that they can't get them back again. I think it's time we found out a bit more about Shabazz. I knew exactly who he was because he would regularly log into Facebook using his personal ID. I also knew his approximate location from all of the various wireless networks around his PC. The network gave me his location within about 50 metres or so. But it was the files in his computer which distinctly gave me his exact address. Of course, he could have been using stolen identity documents or was just pretending to be someone else. So I was really pleased whenever he decided one day to uncover his webcam. Oops, not so clever.
Okay. And is there any option out there down, like install anyway?
But he wasn't the only scammer in the call centre. This, for example, is a guy called Shemail operating exactly the same scam.
Yes, ma'am. Now look at your computer, ma'am. Like I am supposed to give you 2,000, right? Which you paid in our company, correct? But ma'am, while I transfer the money from my company account to your account, ma'am, instead of putting, ma'am, like $2,000, by mistakenly I had put it over there, ma'am, like $10,000. I do believe you can see at your account. the
You
available
don't just
balance.
do that by
And
accident.
during this time, as I was trying to work out what to do with these scammers, I was approached by an author and journalist named Utijit Bhattacharjee. Utijit is an award-winning author who specialises in things like cybercrime, and very importantly, he's a native of Kolkata. So when I was showing him live some of the scams actually happening, he had the idea to go to Kolkata and confront at least one of the scammers face to face. So he travelled to the address of the scam call centre, and there he met Shahbaz's parents. It seemed that the call centre was in a building adjacent to where he lived. So although Shahbaz wasn't around, scammer and writer agreed to meet in a hotel in Kolkata. And when he did turn up at the hotel, the cyberbully wouldn't come on his own. He brought what he described as his cousin with him, just to make sure things didn't get out of hand. I had provided Utijit so much video and audio of his scams in action that when, predictably, Shahbaz denied being a scammer, Utijit was able to confront him with a mountain of evidence. We were interested in why somebody like Shahbaz gets into these scams. And although he's not a major player, what motivates a young man like Shahbaz to do what he does? Of course, we all know it's mostly about money. Here he is posing with a lot of rupees, undoubtedly stolen from elderly...
I'm going to just do a very quick count about actually how many rupees there is. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20... 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. What's 29 times 500? Times 500. So that's about 14,500 rupees. I'm going to actually just do another little calculation about what that translates to in US dollars. Assuming, of course, that, this really is that as much as there is there. Rupees in dollars. That's just short of $200. It may not sound like much, but it possibly means a lot more if this really is meant to be 14,500 rupees in India. Or this is just a select few he has, and there's not more lying about.
People in the USA. So in the description, I've linked to the New York Times Magazine article which describes the confrontation between Utijit and Shahbaz. So if you'd like to hear what Shahbaz has to say for himself, I'd encourage you to read the article. We initially agreed not to name Shahbaz in the article as long as he would stop the scamming. However, just weeks after the confrontation and Shahbaz swearing that he would give up scamming, he fired up his PC and it was really clear that the scams were continuing. Here he's giving gift card numbers to his colleague Imran, who will process these and they will share in the profits. So there doesn't seem to be a fear of any repercussions of this sort of scam. It's far too lucrative and there doesn't seem to be a fear of being caught. In other areas of India, like Delhi, there seems to be a clampdown on these sorts of scams, but in Kolkata there is very little evidence of any sort of action by the police. So in this vacuum, the likes of Shahbaz and hundreds of others like him will continue these scams until there's some positive action by the police in Kolkata. And many more people will be put in a position just like this.
Sir, because if you are not going to fill up the form, if you are not going to complete the procedure, your computer will be locked. So what do you want to do, sir?
If you would like to support me in my fight against scammers, I have a Patreon channel and the link is on screen and in the description. I'm also on Twitter at JimBrowning11, and again, thank you for watching.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Confronting an Internet Scammer by Mr. Jim Browning. Just one of dozens of videos he has in his fight against con artists, scammers, all of them purely out for money by just lying and deceiving vulnerable people. Now, just before we go, there was one particular instance that happened to me a few days ago that I felt like I wanted to share with you guys, because it illustrates yet another sort of scam that I see a number of people running. Sometimes these will be listed under junk mail, but sometimes if it looks legitimate enough and it will send you to the direct place, it will not appear as junk at all, and it will appear underneath your inbox when you receive an email. Now, a few days ago, I received an email claiming that an order from the Royal Mail was not shipped out to me because my address was apparently not listed in the shipping. And it basically just said that message, and then down below was like a link as long as a dictionary. And they told you to just click on that, and I clicked on it, and it sent me to the Royal Mail website. It then told me to... Okay, first of all, they said the order had come from a place called the NashvilleTheatreCompany.com, which I looked up, and it was literally just a theatre company, which is based in Nashville, Tennessee. So I went and, filled out the form on the Royal Mail website, because I thought, it looks like the Royal Mail. This looks too legit to be deceitful in any way. Then what happened was that when I went to purchase something on Amazon a few days later, it was not accepting my card. So I rang up my bank and they told me, because I passed off all the security questions, that there was a belief that there was some fraudulent activity in my bank account, and that I had to go see my nearest branch possibly the next day. So I went into town the next day, went to my branch, explained exactly what happened, and they did explain that what happened was that somebody apparently changed my phone number in my bank account. And when I actually asked them why would they just do something like that, they said that we are not too sure ourselves, but we are suspecting if this happened recently, because this happened like a few days before I wasn't able to buy anything online. They said that this could have just been the beginning of it, and it could have been a very long and complicated series of blackmailing and deceitful intimidation techniques until they got what they wanted of me. So they said they were going to send me over a new card in the mail within a couple of days' time. I mention that because if that sort of thing does happen to you, then where you get an email with a link that sends you somewhere and you click it by accident, then you've got to go and talk to your bank, I'd say almost immediately, just to, if for no other reason, and just to make sure that there is absolutely nothing suspicious happening in your account, because it's very, very important that you get these things sorted immediately and not wait on it. Because if you do, then these things will get worse, and they will continue doing it. The longer you let these people sit by and just let them do what they do, then they'll get away with it more and more people will be helpless to stop them or won't step in. Now again, that may not sound the most important story about this in the world, but imagine what it could have been if I chose to have done nothing about this. So just make sure if you get an email that has a very, very long link to something that looks suspicious in any which way, delete it immediately. That's the best thing I could possibly suggest. And so, ladies and gentlemen, with all that being said and done, I hope all of you have enjoyed this video by Mr. Jim Browning. One at a time, ladies and gentlemen, and there are dozens of channels like Jim Browning, all with a very, very similar goal in mind. So make sure to... I might even check some of those out in the future, depending on which ones have very significant impact, because Jim delivers he doesn't just punch, he follows through with his punch, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this reaction video by Mr. Jim Browning. Please make sure to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys thought of confronting an internet scammer for yourselves. Please make sure to also like and subscribe to get daily notifications when my videos come out. And I hope to see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye for now.